Hi there, it's Shawn Tuttle, Chief Navigator at The Natural Professional. My blog post update today is turning into a video update because it is very challenging for me to sit down and write, being very hyper about all the things going on in my preparations for Thailand. So what I wanted to talk about today is coming back to organization when the shit's hit the fan. Back in my professional organizing days, one of the things that I was always aware of was, one of the adages that chaos, clutter, disorganization came when there was a major life transition. One of the three big Ds, disease, death, and or divorce. Like, those are three huge things that happen in someone's life that someone who up to that point had been really organized, felt totally on top of their game, felt like they had their stuff under control, all of a sudden just found themselves in a sea of craziness and would feel huge amounts of overwhelm in getting back on top of things. Like, that's when someone calls a professional organizer, basically. But it doesn't have to be that big of an issue for that kind of shift to happen from organized to disorganized. So of course there's the kind of disorganization that's just kind of like this slow ramping up, just day after day, month after month of just not dealing with something. But then there's the situation, so this is what I'm getting to, is where I was last month. So I did the 5-week online course, the Walk Tall, Reign Your Office Like a Queen, and it was awesome. And I've been pretty organized because I've been traveling, and well, that's also what I do, but traveling. And so I have all of, I had my Airbook configured, my files are on Dropbox, I also have some stuff in Google Docs, and anyway, I had my file structure very well dialed in. And then this course started, and in addition to the course starting, I started doing audio and video on a regular basis, and the Airbook isn't really set up for that kind of file size. And I was back in California, so I had access to the rest of my office, which includes a MacBook and an external hard drive. So all of a sudden, I'm doing different activities, i.e. audio and video, which just involve a whole bunch of different types of files and different versions and that kind of thing. And I'm using 2 different machines, and I've got 2 new hard drives to mess with. And about midway through the month of leading this course, I realized that I was spending a lot of time looking for stuff, and it drove me nuts. Like, nuts. Like, that's just not how I operate. So there's this choice at that point, right? I can either say, oh, well, I don't have time to deal with it right now. I'm in the middle of this course and the content is the most important thing, so I just need to keep pushing forward. And when the course is done, right, this date in the future, then I will clean up my files, I'll figure out this stuff, and then I'll keep going. But that's not a good idea. Because at the end of those 5 weeks, there's something else. And in this case, it's get ready for Thailand. Like, that all of a sudden is the most important thing. And dealing with this digital messy file situation is, down on the priority list again. So the time to deal with it is when you're aware of it. And 2 reasons here. So one, I was wasting time looking for stuff because I would record something on one computer and then want to access it on the other one, and files were just all over the place. So one, there's the wasted time. And 2, the energy of frustration and irritation at not being able to find what I wanted right when I needed it. Like, the workflow flows when you open up a program and you open up the file and you have all of your supporting stuff and you know where the stuff is and you're able to do it, export, go. Oh, I tell you, digging yourself out of a frustrated state takes a lot of energy. So not only is there the wasted time in the looking for stuff, there's also the wasted energy in dealing with a, for all intents and purposes, negative emotion that you kind of dig yourself into a pit on. And then that kind of spills over to the rest of the work, which is my 5-week online course, which is the most important thing. So in order to give my course and my content 100% of myself, I need my stuff dialed in. So as soon as I was aware that that the problem was that I hadn't reconfigured my system. So my system worked up until the beginning of the course because of my situation. When my situation changed, i.e. new activities, new technology, and new hard drive storage space, my old system and the new hadn't quite been figured out. And I tell you, it took about 10 minutes to think through what would be the wise way to organize the different files. And then it took me maybe another 10 minutes tops to actually clean it up. Because I wasn't starting from a complete disaster, right? I was starting from originally an organized place, then the chaos, and then it only took 10 minutes to deal with that new chaos. And so I got the stuff, the audio and video files onto the external hard drive. I got all of the additional files onto Dropbox. Didn't store any files on the MacBook. I don't store any files on the AirBook. So all of a sudden, I know where everything is. I can access any of it from either computer. And so all of a sudden, the 2 computers was a moot point. I could access anything from either computer. So anyway, so my thought, what I want to close with is, if you're someone who is typically pretty organized and all of a sudden you find that the shit's hit the proverbial fan, it could be that your system of before and the new scenario, the new inputs are not fitting into your old system. Yeah, that's it, that your situation's changed, new inputs not fitting into old system. So it might just take that thinking through of, okay, what is my situation? What's the best way to deal with it? And then make those changes and proceed. So when I finally realized that that's what was going on, it took me about 20 minutes to change that. And then by the end of the course, my files were all in place. I didn't have to rearrange anything, and I'm moving forward from there. Whew, hopefully that wasn't too long of a explanation there. Okay, all the best. May you be organized, and more importantly, may you feel good about your workflow. May you feel good about your space, and may you love life. Bye for now.